Full disclosure, news and commentary number 84, 84, 84, 84, 84. I look like shit because I'm in my fucking wet fucking t-shirt. Hot ladies, gonna win the contest. I just got done working out, and then I went out and freaking, after I lifted weights, I went out and worked out in the rain, which is ludicrous. I have a busy day today. I didn't want full disclosure to come out on Tuesday like I had to last week. So I'm doing it now. And then I'm going to get on with my day. Yeah. Shit to talk about. And 2 things to unbox. All right. Thank you to my Patreon people, Justin, Brett, Brian, Rob Rod, Larry, not that one, but the other one, D, Dan, Derek, and Diana. Whole lot of D. That's what the ladies say. And of course, the big ones, Eric, the World Walker, and you know what I'm about to say, the motherfucking O.G. Myron. Down. Let's do this unboxing since I always forget to do this shit. I'll unbox this first. This was obviously a book sent to me. I suspect I know who it's from and what it is because it was sent to my house, not to my P.O. box. My P.O. box is below if you want to send me anything. I gotta say, whoever sent me that goddamn Ming the Merciless Flash Gordon shirt, tell me who the fuck you are, because that is now my official favorite shirt that I wear all the time. I'm wearing that thing out. But let me know. What is this book? Awesome. Yay. I need stuff to read, for sure. I'm going to do one of my favorite books that I feel like wrestling people, anybody in general can learn from, but wrestling people in particular can learn from. I'm going to do a video about that. But this is called My Goodness, A Cynic's Short-Lived Search for Sainthood. I've actually read at least one of these books from this author before. Cool. Well, thank you. You know who you are who sent that to me. Now, this other thing is a motherfucking mystery. This thing was sent to my P.O. box. I can't tell by feel what it is, which is fucking terrifying. I don't want to... I don't know. I don't know what this thing is. I should have... Oh, no. Here it goes. Oh, it tore open easy enough. And now I take it. The fuck? Yay, some caramel syrup. No note. Okay. Interesting. Who the fuck is sending me caramel syrup? It's never boring being me. Some highlights happening this week. Tipping point. We have a couple of people, including the daughter of Baby Doll and Sam Houston, who wrestles. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. My apologies. And Dream Girl Ellie, who's going to be on AEW Dark. Yes, they're going to have AEW Dark on Tuesday, even though they had it on Friday and the Tuesday before. Where you been? They don't skip a Tuesday. I was also encouraged to start looking at SmackDown and NXT in the same way that I do Raw, Dark, and Dynamite already. And the pay-per-views. The fuck? I may. I don't know where I'll find the time, but every time I say that, I always find the time. It's what I do. It's good shit. But in addition to that tipping point, I'm going to the ICW shows on Friday in Tampa and Saturday in Port Richey. I did a video about that if you want to check that out. I'm very, very excited to go to these live wrestling shows. I will try to get reviews up of those because I don't do enough. And I decided to do a top 10 list, a P list this week. Can you believe this shit? But I'm glad to be busy. I'm glad to have so much stuff going up on Georgia Wrestling History. It's a really good time. For sure. What is our commentary about? Our commentary is this idea, now that the election is more or less over. Spare me your bullshit. It's over, right? What does that mean as far as pro wrestling in Georgia and Florida and in general mean? What does it mean? What can we learn? What can we do? How can we use the apparent negativity about everything and actually use it for our benefit? Seems impossible, but that's what we do. We do the impossible. God, this shirt is beat to shit. I should probably throw it away. What kind of shirt? What is it? Hawaiian Airlines shirt. This thing is probably 25, 30 years old when I was bigger. That's why it's all stretched out. All right. Southern Fried drew 200. The picture of Todd being body slammed by Manders is awesome. I'm glad people are taking this have a great picture associated with your thing to heart. Saw a great picture of Austin Tower that he had on his whip. These things matter. Cool little clip of Tyler Culprit doing his finisher, the raindrop or whatever the fuck. Thought that looked cool. These images matter. People are taking that seriously. They drew 200, which is the lowest crowd they've had for a minute, but they're going up against the Georgia game and a bunch of other shit. You know how that goes. Seemed like it was a really good show. Peach State, yay! Running again, drawing 75 in Heflin, Alabama. Actually, the Peach State show was a big inspiration for me doing a top 10 list. We'll have to see what that is, right? Pro South did not run because of COVID-related stuff. November 6th, a show happened in Fort Valley. That fundraiser thing for the Grace House. I didn't hear about that show yet, though. And then Larietto got in their report late, but they did get it in. About the show that ran October 30th, they drew 112. Oh, this brings me to my... God damn it. To my rant. Hate to call them out like this, but I got to. Heritage Championship Wrestling. What the fuck, man? Get show reports in. Promote your shit better. Their shows happen, and then I hear about them after they happened. The talent on that show continues to go up and up and improve. Someone's gotta help those motherfuckers out. We want wrestling to do well. And Heritage, you gotta get your shit in. You gotta get reports in. You gotta take care of that shit. It's all part of growing a brand. They gotta get that shit in, man. And did you know that there was a school running out of that building where you can get taught by guys like Azriel with, I assume, Slim J popping in once in a while. You can get trained by those fucking guys. But I didn't fucking know about that. I had to hear about it from somebody else. Folks, we got to know what the fuck you're doing. Like, I'll give credit. IWE, they're promoting the shit out of their show that they got coming up. Southern Honor, promoting the shit out of the show they got coming up. And by the way, the show, fucking Gunnar Miller versus Joe. It's a big fucking match. And they're promoting the shit out of it. And it's fucking wonderful. But Heritage, especially these newer groups, get the fucking word out. I've already given up on South Georgia. It doesn't matter how much I bemoan the fact they don't give a fuck. Fine. Have your little fiefdom there or whatever the fuck. Right? But anybody who's in the know, does sending your shit in to Georgia Wrestling History, gwhnewsandnotes.blogspot.com, does that help you sell tickets? I know it doesn't prevent you from selling tickets. That's one thing. And two, it just makes you a part of the scene. A basic rule of advertising is people have to hear about your shit 3 different times, 3 different ways before they are inclined to take your shit in. It's why doing physical posters and flyering is still important. Physical posters and flyering in conjunction with appealing to your own fan base that you already have through Facebook and Twitter, and then them hearing about shit from a third source, like Georgia Wrestling History. These are all target audience shit, and it's to get people to go to your show. And then you need to get on it. And if your show, if you don't have a report about your show, even if you're doing it yourself, then it's like it never fucking happened. And it's just like I've preached in the past. My biggest regret is that I didn't get more pictures and more videos of my own shit. And so I tell the young guys, don't fucking hesitate about that shit. Take the pictures, take the videos, get a hold of your shit, have it. Promotions. Have a record and an archive of your shit. Even if your shows are being videotaped and being shown on fucking, Fight TV and IW, that's great. But the written thing appeals to people. And again, it's another avenue where people can hear about you. The more varied ways that people see and hear about you and read about you, the better it is. Whatever negatives you want to say about AEW, something that they have very successfully done is they own half of the wrestling news that goes up is about them. And people comment about them. And that is nothing but a positive. End of rant. HCW, get on it. And if someone needs to fucking help you out, fucking reach out. Right? We got to know that your shit's happening, and then we got to know what happened when it does. Because there was some cool shit that happened on their last show that I had fucking no idea. The fucking Hate Junkies got back together. Those two women did some badass fucking deathmatch shit. I still don't know what the fuck happened. That's unforgivable. You know I'm going to talk about that shit if you fucking let me. Sorry, that was more rant. Now it's done. Motherfuck. Sorry I'm getting so fucking heated about that, but I like those guys, and I want them to do well. But fuck, take it from somebody for whom promoting was not the strongest part of my game when I did it. Self-admitting, right? Fucking make it happen. But I sure as fuck made sure we had fucking match results in. Did PCW get in, like, even something like Pro Wrestling Illustrated? We were always in the back of that motherfucker. Our top 10 was in there, and then show reports were in there. We were out, at one point, we were outdoing everybody. And you best believe I always had fucking show recaps for every show that we did locally. And I did a fuck ton more shows than anybody else did, and I still got that shit in. It's important. Do it. Now I end of rant. What up? Fuck you, Bell. And it came right back at me. Holy shit. Horror movie shit. Okay. Commentary. Whether you're a Trumper or an anti-Trumper or someone who pretends they're neither, the analogy to everything that's been happening politics-wise and pro wrestling to me is pretty clear. Because there's the people who are, I want to be part of the wrestling scene in general. There's the people who are like, I hate everybody else. I'm just interested in my shit. And then the people who pretend that they're neither. But the truth is you're one or the other. We know this, right? If you see somebody go like, I'm no fan of Trump, but obvious thing supporting Trump's side. They're a Trump person. And that's okay, but they're afraid to say it for political reasons or their own mental reasons where they always want to feel like they're not affiliated with anybody, that there's this fucking lone wolf. And you see that in wrestling too, right? Oh, I don't really have strong feelings about bullshit. If you're involved in pro wrestling, which is a fantasy-based business, You have taken a side, and you continue to take sides, right? You don't believe me? Are you Jim Cornette guy or are you not? Do you favor Southern Honor, or do you favor Southern Fried, or do you favor somebody else? You've got a favorite, and all that's okay. And even if you're one of the boys who has to play both ends against the middle, because at the end of the day, you want to get booked as many places as possible, which is smart. You've got places that you prefer to work. That doesn't mean that you hate all the others necessarily, but you've got places that you prefer to work for various reasons, and that's cool. But a tone that I like that is being discussed. Now, some people are like, all right, now's the time to sort of like fucking put that shit down and come together. And people are like, fuck that come together shit. And people are finding ways to fight about dumb shit right now. Right? Should the Biden camp, should those people be celebrating? No, you shouldn't celebrate, or you shouldn't be hard on the other side. I don't give a fuck about any of this. I'm here to talk about wrestling. So here's what I see in wrestling. That people tried to gin up fucking hate and rivalry shit. But they're seeing that because we're just now really getting back on its feet, that people are so grateful that pro wrestling is happening, that they're realizing any instance of like, I'm going to still fucking fight this person. And especially if they're punching down, it's just such a waste of time, and it's such a waste of energy, and it's such a bad look. Can we fight to keep that mentality? Can we fight to reconcile? Now, you know how I feel about this notion that everybody should work together. It's horseshit. But I think we can have people devoting their energies in the right direction, which is to do their shit and do their shit to the best of their ability. And instead of people, now though, it tends to work this way. The only people who are fighting me at this point are the fucking dumbest of the fucking dumb. Everybody else, even people who I've upset over the years, are now realizing like, I'm here to fucking make you better. And if people don't realize that that's Larry Goodman's whole fucking thing and Georgia wrestling history's whole fucking thing to make it better, then you're a fucking idiot. He's here to fucking make it better. Nick and Myron are here to make it better. Rob Rod, almost to the purest extent, just wants to be part of the fucking scene and help. And that's a good way to be. And if all of us who do very similar things can work with one another to make the whole scene better, then for fuck's sake, wrestling can as well in general. What does that mean? That doesn't mean, let's face it, all you motherfuckers are basically using the same pool of people. Period. It's the truth. Right? All you motherfuckers, and this is every promotion, no matter how great or shitty they think they are, at the end of the day, they have ways that they can improve. And every group, major group, seems to have a vested interest in the awards this year. And are very excited and are already putting in their thing and sending me shit going like, look at this, it might be match of the year. Look at this, it might be promo of the year. Blah, 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 blah. That's fucking great. What they're not doing, and I hope they continue to not do, is they're not campaigning against somebody else. Because as these awards become more finite, we're in November, motherfuckers. And even if we push dates back, we're talking less than 2 months of shows and matches and promos and all this kind of shit that we're going to be judging on. It's not a lot of time, especially for shows that only do a show a month about, or even 2 shows a month. You don't have a lot of shots left, right? But what I hope happens this year for the awards is people promoting themselves or their group without having to tear others down. Because no matter what the fucking categories were in the past, even shit that you're like, surely there aren't people trying to fucking cut other people down to help themselves in a competition. I mean, ring announcer. You had fucking people talking shit on each other in the past. It's the truth. You don't see that as much amongst the referees. Not since the great Kenneth D wars of the past, where the two of them are always fucking the two that were going at it for the most part. Look, you don't have anything else but time to promote yourself right now and to promote what you're doing. If you're somebody that needs to create an artificial enemy in order to keep that shit to yourself and keep it private, because I'm telling you, the mood right now, both in the country and in wrestling in particular, is there's an overall feeling of gratitude, and nothing fucks that up more than somebody who's deliberately trying to undercut somebody else. You haven't heard Chris Nelm's name in a while. You know why? Because he's been working really actively to try to fuck people over. And you know what the response has been? Instead of this huge backlash, it's been this sort of like, fuck you. That just means you're small time. And that means that you have nothing to promote. So you have to tear somebody else down. That's the pervasive attitude that's happening right now. And I'm just putting it out there to all the wrestlers because I know any number of people are trying to win shit. And I know a number of people are sort of like using that as fuel for themselves. And that's all fucking great. That's why competition is fucking wonderful and a beautiful thing. But I'm just letting you know, if your attitude is, I'm going to fucking insult all these people. Fucking everybody who did that shit of constantly talking other people down to try to talk themselves up have all toned down their fucking acts. Whether they want to admit it or not. And they should. Because a big part of winning is adjusting your game plan to win when necessary. And right now, the social moray of professional wrestling, in the state of Georgia at least, is it's time to fucking promote your own shit and not go after other people. Because the people who are going after other people, like in the Florida area where they're bringing up old shit and they're just attacking, people are just not having it. And the people in Georgia who are like, I'm going to start shit with this person, I'm going to start shit with this person, maybe amongst their tight little inner circle, it's like cool, but for the most part, other people are just like, I don't want to fucking hear that shit. People don't want to hear that shit right now. It's all a part of fucking healing. It's all a part of like fucking, we've all had to wage this mental war, whether you were a Trumper or not Trumper or whatever the fuck. Dude, we're coming upon that time of the year where the holidays are happening. And if your first instinct when I say holidays are happening is to somehow turn that political, go fuck yourself. If you remain angry, it's because you're ginning up. Biologically, we are only able to maintain anger levels and adrenaline levels for a very short, finite amount of time. If you are still holding a grudge and holding on to shit, it's because you are making that happen. That's biology, folks. You've got shit to do. And I suggest you go do it. And if part of that is making yourself happy, I suggest you go do it. I am going to wrestling shows this weekend, and I'm very happy to. What I don't want to hear, I'm actually glad it's a group that doesn't run in Florida normally, because then I'm not going to have to hear a bunch of Florida politics wrestling bullshit. I live off of that shit, as you guys well know. But right now, I just want to fucking go enjoy myself and hang out with my friends and have a good fucking time. And I imagine everybody would be well served to do that as well and to work on your own shit. Now, if something that has upset you about politics and the rest of this over the last few days, weeks, months, years, is that you found out, and chances are you did, you found out, I got a crush, you found out that people that you know and you worked with aren't the people that you thought that they were, and that they're fucking idiots, and you didn't know that about them. And that's on every side of the aisle, right? You found out that people that you know, maybe even called friends, but certainly acquaintances or colleagues in the wrestling business, are fucking idiots. I have something I want to close with. Finding out that people that in wrestling business are fucking idiots means you're nothing but not observant and late to the game. Because in general, I found that people in wrestling are conniving, stupid, and dumb. And me and others are working to make that less the case. So if your big revelation is, wow, a lot of people in wrestling are kind of dumb and pieces of shit, I hate to break it to you, but it's always been that way. So work on yourself so you're not one of those people. And we'll all be better off. This has been Full Disclosure.